All right, so this is a rebuttal to Neo's video regarding Beckett and what they need to do to change. And I don't agree that they should change. Why should they change for everybody else? The whole point of them with the subgrades is being an outlier. And what is the one thing that all grading card companies came into space started doing? Creating subgrades. So, and why? Because we were all complaining that, PSA doesn't have subgrades. We don't know what's going on. And this PSA 10 doesn't look as good as this PSA 10. And, one of the suggestions was graders notes like they do with comics. They're not going to do that. They can't grade the cards as fast and supply notes. And then are you going to say only supply notes to a 9 or higher? I don't have a problem with the way BGS does their grading system. I like it. BGS's problem is they lost market share due to, I'm assuming, thinking that, we don't need to change, we don't need to advertise, we don't need to put anything out there, we're not going to grow. All of those things is what hurt Beckett, not their subgrades. Not the confusion of subgrades. Because if you're going to start doing graders notes, that's going to create worse confusion because somebody's going to have to go look it up. You're going to have people buying stuff on eBay and they're going to be like, oh, I didn't see the graders note. It's not the card I want. Or tell you your kid spit in the wind and accidentally hit buy it now for 10K. And so I don't see that. I understand they need to do something. I agree changing something up is important, but I wouldn't get rid of the subgrades. At least on cards 9 or higher. If that were going to do something, I'd be fine with that. I don't need subgrades on an 8. Okay? I don't. I maybe not even need subgrades on a 9. So maybe 9.5 and higher would be a better angle to take with this. I was going to respond in the comments to Neo, but I just felt like I might as well just make a video about it since I'm thinking about it right now. But again, I have a few improvements in my head that these card companies, grading companies can make, and they still haven't done it yet, and they're not trying to hit the high-end version of the market properly. I do believe that there are the instances where they're like, I don't want to, if a card is going to grade at 10, it almost needs to be 10 plus, like a black label, even a PSA, especially older cards, to grade at 10. Are they comparing it to the previous 10s in their system and then going off of that? Or are they just kind of saying, this got this little nick, it's probably not as good as this one, we're going to make it a 9. But that's where the grading notes would be very reliable. But it's also why BGS is so reliable, because I can just look at it and say, this is why. Oh, let me go look at the corners. What did I miss? If I got to go to grading notes and play a game like that, and those companies aren't going to take the time to do it, and if you have to pay extra for it, nobody's going to do it, because if it doesn't come out right, it hurts the card. And that's the fear, is it hurting the card? And I always like the fact that, I could try to get a True Gem or True Gem Plus of a card. I like that factor of knowing I'm getting a better version, and I can see it in my face, just looking at something. That's the value of subgrades. Again, all these other companies that came in, subgrades. Why? Because we were all complaining about it. But now we're saying that, oh, get away from the subgrades, it's too confusing. No, it's not. It's what we want. That's our notes. It's in our face. It tells everybody what the problem is with it if they're looking for it. Now, what happens is the market needs to figure out what they want to do with it. Because we've seen the PSA 10 sell for way more than an SGC 9.5, a BGS 9.5, way more. Multiplier is crazy. And the difference in the card might be so minute, or there may be no difference in the card, and the 10 might actually be worse than the 9.5. But unless you have them side by side, you can't make that decision. But the price is so different. Now, what was the Jeter's the perfect example. 6K or 100K? Would you rather have a PSA 10 for whatever 100Ks it went for? I don't remember if it was 100,000, 300,000, whatever it was, or an SGC 9.5 for 6K, and then you can go buy yourself a slew of cards. I'd rather take that 9.5 all day long, have a super nice card in my collection, wait for the market to stop being a bunch of idiots, and that everything turns over in time. Those are my thoughts, though, at least on the Beckett grading thing. Thanks, Neo, for putting that out there. A little bit of a fire underneath me. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I appreciate all of y'all, and take care.